morning students. As I have started with the 9th standard science, myself Savita Kulkarni. So started with your first biology chapter, that is the fundamental unit of life. So what is the fundamental unit of life? Yes, cell is the fundamental unit of life. So in all the living organisms we find the cell. Either it may be plants or animals, in all the living organisms we find the cell. So we started discussion with the parts of our cell. How is the structure of cell? What are all the important parts? That discussion we started. Yes, which are all the important parts of the cell, students? It is the cell membrane, cytoplasm and the nucleus. Right? So in our previous classes we have discussed already with the cell membrane. Coming to the one more important after the cell membrane, that is the cell wall. If you see the structure of the plant cell and animal cell, see, one is plant cell, one is animal cell, right? So to this what I am going to do, let me draw one more. So now tell me which is the plant cell and which is the animal cell? Yes, of course this is the plant cell and this one is the animal cell. How you are going to identify, students, that it is the plant cell? This is plant cell because here you find the cell membrane or plasma membrane. But next to the cell membrane, there is one more outer coating that is called as the cell wall. Right? This I am going to call it as animal cell. Why it is animal cell? Yes, this layer is the plasma membrane or the cell membrane. Outer to the plasma membrane, do you find any layer, any covering there? No, we don't find, because what conclusion we can say? Animal cell is not having the cell wall and plant cells are having the cell wall. So students, while writing the differences between plant cell and animal cell, one difference what you can write? Cell wall we find in the plant cell, which is absent in the animal cell, right? Okay. So cell wall, it is made up of cellulose. Cell wall is made up of cellulose, right? So it provides, what is the function of the cell wall to the plant cell? It gives one shape, it gives a particular shape to the cell. It gives strength to the cell, right? Along with this, it provides rigidity. Rigidity means hardness to the plant cell and the turgidity. So these are all the things what plant cell is going to get from the cell wall, right? So plasma membrane, what we explained, students, it is a flexible, we said, but cell wall is not a flexible, it is hard. It gives the rigidity, it gives a particular shape and all to the plant cell. So that is about the plant cell wall, right? Hope you are understanding. So in case of the cell wall, we can discuss one more concept, that is plasmolysis. Let me write it here. Plasmolysis. So what is plasmolysis? What happens when the plant cell loses the water? When it loses the water, when its concentration is more, the water concentration in the cell is more, and when it is less in the atmosphere, so it loses the water. When it loses, the shape of the cell decreases or it will shrink, right? So that process, that water should go out from the plasma membrane as well as out from the cell wall. We are going to call it as the plasmolysis process, right, students? So this is about the cell wall, right? So coming to the next important part, that is the nucleus. See students, it may be plant cell or animal cell. It may be rough diagram or whatever. We are going to draw this much in the middle of the cell. So what is this? this is a very important part of the cell called as the nucleus. Correct? If you magnify, if you enlarge the size of the nucleus and observe under the microscope, it looks like this. It looks like this. How many membranes are there? This is the inner membrane and this is the outer membrane. So it is made up of two membranes, nothing but double membrane structure. And this double membrane structure, it is called as nuclear membrane. It is called as nuclear membrane. Nuclear membrane is not continuous. Here and there you can observe the gaps. So these gaps are called as the nuclear pores. Pores means some gaps, some openings are there. So those are called as the nuclear pores. What is the use of these openings, nuclear pores? They help for the entry and exit of the materials. Even nucleus for its functions, it requires certain things. The things in sense, it may be the oxygen, it may be the water content, like that. Right? So whatever the materials are required for the functioning of the cell, it should be in and out from the nucleus. So that passage is nothing but the nuclear pore. Right? And first this one, see, background. There what you find? We find a fluid. Fluid in the sense liquid. Gel type. That type of the substance we find, that is called as nucleoplasm. That is called as nucleoplasm. In the nucleoplasm, again you find certain structures. A dark round shaped structure we find, which is not having the membrane. Membrane less structure it is, that is called as nucleolus. Be careful with the spelling of nucleus and the nucleolus. Right? So inside the nucleus, you find a structure that is called as nucleolus. What is the function of nucleolus? It helps for the protein synthesis. The function of nucleolus is helps in protein synthesis. Right? Yes. After this, can you see this thread-like structure? Something thread just we have put it there in the cell, like that it looks. Yes. This thread-like structure, it is called as chromatin network. It is called as chromatin network. What is this chromatin network and what is its function? This chromatin network, what is its function? During cell division, when the cell will divide and forms the new cell, during the cell division, this thread-like structure will get a particular shape. This type of the shape it will take, and this is the structure called chromosome. This is the structure called as chromosome. Now time being it is a thread-like structure when it is in the nucleus. But when that cell, it may be the plant cell or the animal cell, when it will undergo the reproduction, when it will undergo the cell division, during that time the chromatin network will get a particular structure, and this structure is called as the chromosome. The chromosomes always, they will be in pair. Right? See students, actually this is the structure of chromosome. This is one chromosome. Right? So always they will be in pair, will represent in a pair only. So chromosomes are made up of DNA. What is the full form of DNA? Deoxyribonucleic acid. Right? Deoxyribonucleic acid. Right? So chromosomes are made up of DNA. DNA are made up of the structure called genes. GE spelling. So they are made up of the genes. Right? So what is the function of these chromosomes, DNA and genes? Okay. What is the function means? In day-to-day life, you might be telling, yes, she is very similar with her mother. Her hairstyle is almost like father. The brother and sisters easily we can identify. How you are going to tell all these things? Yes, because there are so many similarities, but not all. That you keep it in the mind. There are so many similarities between parents and their offspring, between brothers and sisters. Why? How you will get all these similarities? These similarities we are going to get it through the chromosomes. Right? What chromosomes will do? Whatever the our characters are there, they will carry it from one generation to the next generation. That is what you are going to get so many similarities, some differences, both the things you find. Right? So in one word, what we can say, what is the function of chromosomes? They inherit, chromosomes inherit hereditary characters. Inherit in the sense transfer. They will transfer hereditary characters. We used to say that is their family heredity. Heredity in the sense the chromosomes are the things which will carry some similar characters from parents to their offsprings. Right? So take down chromosomes function. Transfer of hereditary materials. Functions of DNA is also same. Function of genes also same, because chromosomes are made up of DNA, DNA are made up of genes. Okay? Right. How many chromosomes are present in the human body? Yes, we have 46 chromosomes. In the human body I am talking, we have a 46 chromosomes. If you are telling this 46 in terms of pairs, just now I told you, this type 46. If you make it one pair, then how to represent? 23 pairs of chromosomes. 23 pairs of chromosomes. To the number 23, if you forget to add pairs, it will be wrong. If you add 46 in pairs, that will be wrong, students. Keep it in the mind. This type, single 46 chromosomes, if you make it in pair, that will be 23 pairs of chromosomes. In which organisms? In the human body. The number of chromosomes differs from one species to another species. I am not telling from one organism to another organism. Can you understand? One species, the human beings all belongs to one group. Right? So one species, we are all having 46 chromosomes. If you take the example of rose, the number of chromosomes are different. If you take hibiscus, it is different. If you take dog, different, mango, different, cat, different. Can you understand? So it differs from one species to another species. Right? So this is about the chromosomes. Hope you are understanding? Okay. Do you find nucleus in all the organisms? Yes, of course, in the beginning when we said, we find it in the plant cell as well as the animal cell. Yes, students, other than this, there are some exceptional cases where you don't find the nucleus. Right? So, in few organisms we don't find nucleus. In almost all the organisms we find. Based on that, there are two categories of organisms. Which are those two categories? Last year you have discussed prokaryotes and the eukaryotes. Prokaryotes and the eukaryotes. So these are the two types of organisms. How you are going to classify? These are classified based on presence of nucleus and absence of nucleus. Okay? Prokaryotes. What is the meaning? These are the organisms in which cell, in which body you don't find a definite nucleus. So we can call it as absence of nucleus. Absence of nucleus. In which organisms, students? In the prokaryotes. then you don't find a particular nuclear membrane. There are no much organelles in the cell. That type of the structure we find in the prokaryotes. The best example for prokaryotes like bacteria. Bacteria is the best example for the prokaryotes. Yes, students, it belongs to which kingdom? Bacteria belongs to the kingdom Monera, right? So only kingdom Monera are prokaryotes. As you know, there are totally 5 kingdoms. Kingdom Monera, prokaryote, other 4 are eukaryotes. Coming to the eukaryotes. What do you mean by eukaryotes? Presence of nucleus. The organisms which are having definite nucleus, nuclear membrane, all the types of organelles, right? So like that we are differentiating 2 types. So what are eukaryotes now? The organisms which are having a definite nucleus called as eukaryotes. Which are all eukaryotes you can say? Other than Monera means amoeba eukaryote. Hope you remember the structure of amoeba, irregular structure. Correct? But at the center we are going to do the nucleus. Right? So even amoeba comes under eukaryotes. Don't get confused. Only kingdom Monera is prokaryote. Other 4 kingdoms, mycota, then what? This amoeba, plants, animals. Right? So all the 4 kingdoms belongs to the eukaryotes. So based on presence or absence of the nucleus, we are classifying as prokaryotes and the eukaryotes. Okay, students? Last important topic. What is the function of nucleus then? We are talking so much about the nucleus. We discussed the structure, what are all the organelles. Then what is the function of the nucleus to our body? The nucleus, take down the function, plays an important role in cell division. Nucleus plays an important role in cell division. See, when the cell division, when the reproduction takes place, the nucleus has to divide and continue the generation, right? So it plays an important role in the cell division. What is the second function? It controls and coordinates. It controls and coordinates all the activities of the cell. All the activities of the cell. So these are, see students, the second one, it controls and coordinates. The nucleus is the one which will control all the functions of the cell. Right? So like that, there is a very important function of the nucleus. It may be in the plant body or the animal cell. Right? Hope you are understanding, students. Fine. Take down the home assignment, students. First one, draw a neat labeled diagram of nucleus. Draw a neat labeled diagram of nucleus. Second one, differentiate between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Third one is write the functions of nucleus. Write the functions of nucleus. Okay, students, enough? Yes. Hope every day you are completing your work. You are doing the home assignment. Please be regular with your studies, students. Right? So, let me tell once again. Nucleus is very important part of the cell. Right? If nucleus is present, eukaryotes. If it is absent, prokaryotes. So, nucleus is having thread-like structure called chromatin network. It will get the structure called chromosomes. Chromosomes are made up of DNA and protein. So DNA are having the genes. What is the function of chromosomes? The function is to transfer the hereditary characters. Right? So like this, we find the important part of the cell, that is nucleus. Okay students, this much work you complete. In the next class, we will begin with the cytoplasm of the cell. Right? Okay, thank you.